Welcome back, friends. In this previous video we'll discuss about the dentition in mammals, and as well as we'll discuss just like related to origin and complete the structure of tooth. Now we are moves to various types of tooths. First one, type of classification, especially on the based on their shape and size. So here it is the one type. First one on the based on shape and size is called Homodont type of teeth. But these Homodont type of teeth, which are also named as isodont. Here isodont is nothing but the in this condition the teeth, all the teeth on jaws, which are all are the similar in shape and similar in size, so those are named as homodont or isodont type of teeth, and which are well seen in whales, like which are belongs to Odontoceti, Odontoceti order. So these are the toothed whales, and at the same time, as several fishes shows the same as a homodont condition, and at the same time, amphibians and reptilians, and extinct toothed birds toothed birds we are observe the homodont type of teeth. So now we discuss the second type of teeth on the based on shape and size here, which are named as heterodont type of tooth, in which heterodont type of tooths, which are all are dissimilar in shape and size, and at the same time they are also performs the different function also. Means here the hetero is nothing but different, so these according to their shape and size and function, which are different in nature, and at the same time, except in mammals, the heterodont condition is found in like a heterodontus, and at the same time in several reptiles, and especially mammal-like reptiles. So means the majority of the mammalians, which are bears or which are shows the heterodont type of condition, except mammals, like a heterodont condition is found in, so the Heterodontus, it is commonly called Port Jackson shark, and at the same time in several reptiles, especially mammal-like reptiles. So now we discuss the second type of classification according to the mode of attachment of teeth, right? So here it is the another second characteristic for the classification or separation of teeth. At the same here, in which the first type of teeth, which are named as thecodont type of teeth. So this thecodont type of dentition is the mainly seen in mammalians. So here it is the major common characteristic of mammalian dentition. In this condition, the teeth are lodged in bony sockets or alveoli of jawbone, and capillaries and nerve cells, which are enters into the pulp cavity through the open tips. Like here, generally the here it is the dentin part, and the remaining the root here, which is situated in the sockets of alveoli of jawbone. So this type of condition is named as Thecodont type of condition, and this Thecodont type of condition, which is well seen in mammalians. And second type of dentition and the based on mode of attachment. So here it is called acrodont type of condition. So this acrodont type of condition, which is well seen in fishes and amphibians, at the same time some reptiles are also shows the acrodont type of condition. So in which the teeth, here the teeth upper part are a visible part. So these upper visible part, which is fused to the surface of underlying of jawbone. Here it is the jawbone, and simply here the teeth, which is fused to the surface of the jawbone, and there is no roots, means in this type of teeth there is no root, and at the same time which are attached to the edge of the jawbone by a fibrous membrane. So this type of teeth is named as acrodont type of teeth, and at the same time all reptilians do not possess the acrodont type of teeth, and these acrodont possessing reptiles like majorly Draco, like Varanus and Uromastyx and Calotis and some snakes, which are shows the acrodont type of dentition. So the last one, third one, which is also on the based on mode of attachment. So here this type of teeth is called Pleurodont type of condition. So in which Pleurodont condition the teeth are attached to the inner side of jawbone, like here the diagram, here it is the jawbone. So just like inner side of jawbone, which is connected with the teeth. So this type of teeth are named as Pleurodont type of teeth, and these tooth touches the bone only with the outer surface, and at the same in there is no roots and nerves, blood vessels do not enters the pulp cavity at the base. The well suitable examples for Pleurodont condition, which is seen in Necturus. Here it is the one of the amphibian, and some of the reptiles are also shows the Pleurodont type of teeth. So here the Pleurodont is nothing but which are attached with the inner side of jawbone and touches the bone only with the outer surface of its root. Okay, now we discuss about the third type of classification and the based on succession or replacement of tooth, replacement of teeth. So here it is the third type of classification and the based on replacement of teeth. But here on the based on replacement, the teeth can be classified into mainly three categories. Like the first type of teeth is called monophyodont type of teeth, and the second type is called diphyodont type of condition, and the last one, third one, is called polyphyodont type of condition. So here the first one, monophyodont type. Mono here it is nothing but single. So means in some mammals, only one set one set of teeth which are developed in their entire lifespan. So that's why this type of condition is named as monophyodont type of teeth. And these monophyodont type of teeth which are well seen in some of the mammalians, like one of the mammalian is called marsupials. So and at the same time the toothed whales, and at the same another example certain rodents like squirrels, and at the same time some of the insectivores. The well suitable example for insectivore is called moles, right? So means here the monophyodont is nothing but only one set of teeth which are replaced or which are developed in their throughout the life. So this condition is named as monophyodont. And at the same time the second one diphyodont. Di means two, so means in most of the mammalians the two sets of teeth which are developed or formed in their entire lifespan. But in these two sets, the first set of teeth which are named as temporary teeth, and remaining the second type of teeth which are named as permanent. But these temporary teeth which are also named as deciduous teeth, and as well as which are also called milk teeth, are also called lacteal teeth. So these lacteal teeth actually which are whenever degenerated, and these are means the temporary teeth which are replaced by the second type of teeth which are called permanent teeth. And here in bats, especially in bats and guinea pig, here in this group of individuals the milk teeth are lost even before the birth. And in at the same time in milk teeth means here the milk teeth, especially the molars, are completely absent in all members of the mammalians, right? So here this condition is called diphyodont, means the two sets of teeth like a temporary and permanent. Temporary which are replaced by permanent teeth. And last one, third type is called polyphyodont. But here poly means many times. So the this type of condition, the teeth are replaced continuously throughout the life. So means the several times which are replaced in uh, one generation to another generation. At the same time example like lower vertebrates, well suitable example dogfish, and at the same time some of the snakes, right? So here these are the different type of polyphyodont condition having individuals. Okay, now I discuss about the types of teeth, but especially this type of teeth are well seen in one of the condition is called heterodont type of teeth. So in these heterodont type of teeth which are mainly classified into four types, like the first type of teeth are named as incisors, and second type is called canines, and third one is called premolars, and the last one finally molars. Here these four types of heterodont teeth which are all are dissimilar in shape and dissimilar in size, and they are also performs the different functions. Okay, now we discuss the first type of heterodont type of teeth, like which is called incisors. So these incisors which are situated anteriorly on the premaxilla, which is present in upper jaw, and at the same time which are also located and tips of dentaries in lower jaw. So means the location of incisors, so situated anteriorly on the premaxilla in upper jaw, and as well as dentaries in lower jaw. And these incisors which are conical in shape, and which are having the single root, and at the same time which are also consist a one number of cusp, so that's why which are termed as monocuspid type of teeth. And these monocuspid type of teeth which are useful for mainly cutting and cropping of food material, cutting or cropping of food material, which is done by the first type of heterodont teeth which are called incisors. And these incisors which are continuously grow throughout their life in especially rodents and as well as lagomorphs. So means these group of individuals which consist the same as incisors, but which are grow continuously throughout their life. And second type of heterodont type of teeth which are called canines. And these canines which are located immediately behind the incisors. So here it is the exact location of canines. So and at the same time these canines which are having the same as single root single root, and which are large are in size, and which are pointed in manner, larger in size and pointed in shape. And at the same time long crown is also present, long crown is present, and they are single in a number, which are present in each half of the jaw, each half of the jaw. So and these canines which are mainly useful for piercing, and at the same time tearing of the flesh of prey. Sometimes the canines are also used for holding the prey in especially, which is well seen in various types of carnivorous mammals, and at the same time in rodents, in especially in rodents the canines are completely absent. Canines are completely absent. So these a living space in between incisors to the gap in between incisors to premolars. So this gap is named as diastema. So this diastema, so that a common space is called diastema. So not only in the space in between incisors and premolars, in any gap within the dental series is called diastema. So at the same time in horses the canines are relatively very smaller in size, and at the same time in carnivores like dogs, tigers, lions, which are means the canines become a spear shape, and which are useful for the piercing and tearing the flesh. So here it is about canines. And the third type of heterodont type of teeth which are named as premolars. But these premolars which are bicuspid in manner, bicuspid means the two number of cusps are present, and these have the two number of roots also. And these premolars mainly which are useful for grinding of food substances, which is the one of the major function of premolars. And the last type of heterodont teeth which are called molars, and these molars which are located behind the just behind the premolars, and these molars have the same as two or more number of roots which are the hidden part of tooth, and at the same time which consist the several number of cusps, and these molars at the same time which are mainly responsible for the crushing of food substances. Here it is the one of the major function of molars, and at the same time these premolars and molars both are collectively called as cheek teeth. So here it is the cheek teeth are nothing but premolars and molars. Both are collectively called cheek teeth, and at the same time in carnivora group of individuals, carnivores are nothing but which are especially feeds the flesh or meat, and in which carnivores the number of cheek teeth of often reduced in some cases, and which are caisel shaped, and which consist the and which are useful for the mainly cracking the bones, and at the same time shearing the tendons. The molar in each jaw of a man are also called wisdom teeth, right? So now I discuss about the cusps patterns. So means which are arranged on especially cheek teeth. So that's why I'm discussing about the cusps pattern. But these cusps which are also called as cones, and here these molars, mainly the molars which are consist the a many number of cusps on their surface, and at the same time which are raises the tiny structures or ridges which are located on the especially occlusal surface is nothing but which is clearly seen on the surface of cheek teeth. The molar cusps which are recognized as a different names, but these different names which are depending on the number of cusp and their shape which are related to cusps. So means now I am discussing the different type of cusp patterns which are located on the molars depending on the number and shape of cusps. So of this the first type of cusp pattern is called tricodont triconodont. So here in this triconodont type of condition, the molar possess the molar consist the only three number of cones or three number of cusps, but which are located or arranged in anterior posterior lines. So this type of molar teeth which are mainly seen in fossil form of Mesozoic mammalians, like the well suitable example is called Triconodon. Okay, next the second type of condition is called trituberculate trituberculate type of teeth, in which condition the molar which are having the same as three number of cones or three number of tubercles, but these tubercles which are arranged in the form of triangular. So that's why this type of cusps are named as trituberculate type of cusps, and which are also well seen in fossil form of Mesozoic mammals, the well suitable example is called Splacotherium. Splacotherium is a good example for tribura. So now we discuss another type of cusp pattern and the based on their feeding habits and as well as the type of food taken, means here it is nothing but trophic specialization. So these two conditions which are more suitable for the observation or recognition of cusp patterns on the especially premolars and molars. But these premolars and molars which are recognized as a one of the type is called first type is called Bunodont. Here buno is nothing but round, so that's why here simply you can call the cusps of cheek teeth which are rounded in shape. rounded so these round type of cusp which are well seen in human beings and at the same time in majority of the omnivora group of individuals, right? So here these are the Bunodont type of teeth and Bunodont type of cusps and at the same time which are responsible for the mainly grinding of food substances and at the same the another type of cusp pattern is called lophodont means here in this condition if the cusps are joined to form a many number of ridges or many number of lobes, so this type of tooth is called lophodont type of teeth which are well seen in elephants means here in which elephants the cheek teeth which are turns to a lophodont type of teeth and at the same time these are responsible for the grind the all sorts of plants and at the same time grasses, right? Here the next third type is called secodont type of teeth. So in which condition the cheek teeth which are consist the with a sharp edges. So these sharp edges which are mainly suitable for the cutting of food substances and at the same time which are well seen in terrestrial carnivores, means the suitable examples are terrestrial carnivores which consist the secodont type of cheek teeth and at the same time the next fourth type of one is called selenodont type of cusp patterns. So these selenodont type of cheek teeth which consist the a crescent shape of cusps which are well seen in many number of ruminants and horses and at the same time which are also seen in a various type of herbivorous individuals, ruminants and horses. And they at the same time the next another type is called fifth type is brachiodont type of teeth. So but this brachiodont type of tooth which consist the a low crown, means the smaller in size and they can also possess the long root and the well suitable example is called human beings and the finally the last type of cusp pattern is called hypsodont type of pattern. So in which hypsodont, so same as which is exact opposite to the brachydont. Brachy here it indicates the short crown, but in which hypsodont which consists the crown is high and at the same the roots are very short. So this type of teeth which are well seen in especially horse incisors